Hope everyone had a nice weekend and that your week has gotten off to a good start today so far, we hope. So we just have one break tonight, and that is a half case of Gypsy Queen. It's the back half of the case, and it's also the last of the Gypsy Queen we're going to be opening for 2019. So before we get started ripping, there is a little bit of information that I like to go over, so we're going to roll with that right now. Feedback 100% automated on eBay. And really, I do that just so you don't have to wait on me to get caught up on feedback, you know? So anytime you leave positive feedback for me, you're going to instantly get the same in return. And of course, the second thing there is just to say thank you. I very much appreciate everyone who bids, breaks, chats with me, hangs out with me, keeps me up to date on scores and all that stuff. Okay, this is breaks that we've got coming up. This stuff's already listed on eBay. We're going to be breaking it over the next few nights. So tomorrow night's a busy night in terms of number of things we're breaking, but none of them take a terribly long time to break. First up, we'll have a 5-box case of TriStar Game Day Greats autographed football jerseys. Then we're going to do another case of Leaf Best of Sports. That's a buyback product. Spots are sold by first letter of the last name. They're all listed in the football category, and redemptions have their own separate bidding category. Following that, Flawless Football. That'll be the last of the Flawless that we have. And then Tier 1 Baseball. On Wednesday, we have one new release. That's Prism Baseball. And we're going to start early, 9:15 Eastern, 6:15 Pacific. And we're going to break a 6-box half case. Now, I had originally said those were going to be loose boxes from a shared case, but it looks now like it may be a full case, because the distributor who is giving me a case and a half is now telling me he, may be able to make it 2 full cases. And so they may not be from loose boxes, but either way, it'll be a half case. Thursday night, we'll have Tier 1 Baseball again, and we're going to open some Prism Basketball by way of the Blasters. We'll open a 20-box case of Blasters on Thursday night. Friday night, we'll start early there too, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, and that's the release night of Spectra Basketball. So we will open it along with another half case of Prism Baseball. On Saturday, it will be Leaf Best of Sports case break number 3, and Spectra Basketball will make another appearance on back-to-back nights there. What you need to know for tonight, Gypsy Queen is our only break, of course. I'm anticipating it will be on the way to you approximately Thursday. Now, if possible to get it out sooner, I will happily do so. If something unexpected happens, it could always go a day later, but I'm expecting right now that it will be Thursday when Gypsy Queen finds its way out of my hands and into the hands of the post office. Don't have to worry about consolation cards here, because everybody's going to pull cards in this break. So this is a 5-box half case of 2019 Gypsy Queen. It is break number 8. It's the last of a case, the back half of a case, and the last of the Gypsy Queen. It ended tonight on eBay, of course. I started to say Friday night. Let's try that again. Monday night, the 13th of May. Team names are on the left-hand side. Winning bidders, of course, across from each team there on the right-hand side. And yeah, I guess that's it. One last little piece of business. You're going to notice here that the background's, it's going to go out of focus a little bit. But that is by design, so please don't worry about that. We should still be able to see all of our cards without any issue. In fact, we should be able to see them even better than we would otherwise, because we'll be able to look at them all up nice and close. So Gypsy Queen, we are looking for a couple of on-card autographs per box. We're also going to find a 3-card pack of chrome variations. Those are our box toppers. So that replaced what in the past has been those oversized Glassworks, box toppers. They were like 5x7 or whatever. So this little 3-card pack of box toppers replaces that. So we'll get a look at those first, and then we'll talk as we go through this first box about some of the inserts and varieties that we're going to find as we go along. So we'll talk more about them the first time we see them than we will in subsequent cases, or subsequent boxes, I should say. But that way we'll get everybody kind of up to speed here as we get started. So our first chrome is Mike Trout for the Angels. The second one is the White Sox, or Red Sox. J.D. Martinez. I got White Sox on the brain, sorry. And Orioles. The Orioles with Trey Mancini. Yeah, I heard on that was numbered too, as a refractor and numbered to 50. I heard on a broadcast right shortly before the break started that I guess the White Sox lost one of their young pitchers to Tommy John. So I do have the White Sox kind of on the brain a little bit. Gina's here. Hi, Gina. You said you finally got your Red Sox in a break, so I better be kind to you and pull you some good Red Sox. I paraphrased that a little bit, but I will do my very best to take care of that for you, Gina. We'll try very hard. So the variations that we find in here, there can be black and white variations. When we find those, they are numbered to 50. There can be a variety of other numbers, and of course, or other cards that are numbered, and we'll flip those over as we get to them. There are some little Gypsy Queen fortune teller mini inserts in here. There are tarot card inserts. What else is in here? I know there's more stuff I'm just not thinking of right at this moment, but we'll recognize it as it goes along. There's also a remote possibility of pulling some of these that have jersey variations. So there's Players Day, Jackie Robinson Day, and Independence Day possibilities for a jersey variation, but those are pretty rare. So then we may not, probably, the odds would not be in our favor to necessarily find that tonight. There can be logo swaps, which just means that little Gypsy Queen logo is swapped out with a picture of the gypsy's face. We can have blank nameplate variations. I'm trying to think what else. Bazooka backs are a possibility. So this is the Diamondbacks, and it is numbered to 250 for Zach Godley. So basically, here's how it works in regard to the Bazooka backs. I think probably everyone realizes that those went to basically an insert series a couple of years ago. So you generally find, I don't know, I would say a somewhat reasonable amount. Like in the first half of this case, I think when I went back and sorted it, I think I found 3 that shipped out today. I think there were 3. So generally speaking, I do not sit here and look at the back of every single card as we go along, because you know what, that takes a very long time. However, if someone wants to see the back of every card, all you need to do is let me know, hang around until after the break, and then we'll pick them up the whole stack and just, you know, you can flip through them on the back side really easily and quickly if you do it that way, looking for those variations. Max Muncy for the Dodgers is our autograph. And of course I do flip over, we do look at the backs of anything that we see as it goes through that is a variation. So we would always take a look at, you know, an autograph or a numbered card or a mini or something like that. We're always going to take a look at as it goes through the first time. I think that's most of the information that you need to know about that sort of thing. Now we just have to find good hits. I like the Max Muncy. He's not been quite as on fire this year, I guess, as he was towards the end of last season, but I still like him. So this is our first tarot insert. It's Jose Altuve, Astros. And we're going to find plenty of those. Those come out pretty frequently. There are also short prints in here. They are from card number 301 to 320, if memory serves. And they are typically going to be retired guys, you know, your Derek Jeters and your George Bretts and Hank Aaron and those kinds of guys. Eddie Rosario and the Twins is our second autograph out of box number 1. All the cards do ship. I do get asked that a lot. So if there is ever an instance where not all the cards are shipping, because there are times where I don't ship all the cards, and anytime that's the case, it will tell you that right there in that listing description, in the same area where it tells you the product name and quantity and the break date and time and all that, would be right there in that little same section anytime we have something like where not everything ships. Number 250, it's our first black and white of the night. It's headed to the Cardinals. It's Harrison Bader on the front of that one. But yeah, in this particular break, everything ships. So hopefully I try to catch everything as it goes through, but every once in a while it could be that I miss something and don't see a blank nameplate or a logo swap or something as it goes by originally. And if you see it and I don't, you are welcome to throw it into chat and I can go back and try to locate it for you. Or otherwise, just know you're going to get it anyway since all the cards ship. So, for instance, Roberto Alomar there is an example of a short print. And the first one that I've noticed tonight anyway, it's for the Indians, of course. And once again, anything that falls 301 to 320 is going to be a short print in Gypsy Queen this year. A tarot for the A's. So we have kind of a quiet week next week, relatively speaking. This upcoming, it's not next week anymore, it's this week now. I'm still thinking it's like Saturday or Sunday. We've got Prism Baseball that comes out on Wednesday, and that's the only thing that comes out on Wednesday. And then on Friday, we have Spectra Basketball, and that's the only thing that comes out on Friday. So kind of giving us a minute to catch our breath, which is nice. In the meantime, we'll get some more Bowman. We'll break some more Bowman. We've got plenty of that left at this point in time. I think around 5 cases. Although I am getting ready to switch that to a break where paper base won't ship. Probably in some of the next handful of Bowman breaks, we'll probably give paper base its own category and not ship it out to the teams. A tarot Shohei Ohtani for the Angels. Hit his first home run of the year as the designated hitter. Of course, not going to pitch this year, obviously. Still recovering from his Tommy John surgery, but nice to see one go out of the park for Shohei. Gina, you didn't even know what product this was. You're glad it's not Allen and Ginter. Yeah, Allen and Ginter hasn't come out yet. We still got a little bit of time before that one comes out. Now, right now, we've got on hand, or I've got on hand, Tier 1, and this is the last of the Gypsy Queen. So I've got more Bowman, more Tier 1. I've got 1 case of Heritage left, but I haven't really decided what I'm going to do with it. I don't know if I'm going to break it, or if I'm going to sell it as a case, or if I'm just going to leave it as a sealed case and see what happens in a year. I mean, I don't know. I haven't quite decided what I want to do with it yet. Zach Greinke for the Diamondbacks. The Rangers with Runed. And I see a little shine to this one. It's for the Twins, Max Kepler. It is a refractor numbered to 150. Yeah, Gina, I can't remember exactly even what the release date is for Allen and Ginter. It's probably not too far off. It usually isn't terribly far behind Gypsy Queen. I think it's before Stadium Club. But, you know, Topps changes that stuff around a lot, too. And they move things around. I mean, in past years, we've had... oh, good grief. It's not museum... Is it? No, it's not museum collection. What's the one we usually get really early in the year? It's a higher priced one. Not super high priced, but yeah, kind of high priced. That, oh, I can't think of the name of it. And it usually comes out like February, end of January, 1st of February. And this year they moved it, and they're not breaking it until like June or July. I can't think what it is, but oh, that's going to bug me. At any rate, so they do move their calendar around sometimes, but usually it'll be something like that. For Allen and Ginter, I mean, somewhere in, you know, probably the next month or so. All right, Austin Meadows, Tampa Bay Rays. Our first autograph out of box number 2. And a little Jackie Robinson short print for the Dodgers. You said you always bid on the White Sox, but you usually don't win until today. Well, then let's hope that we make it worth your while today, right? We're going to try to find you something good in here, Gina, for your Red Sox tribute. That's it, Jason. Thank you. Gosh, why couldn't I think of the name of that? I was like thinking, no, I know it's not museum collection. Like I just went blank on it. Yeah, tribute. That's exactly it. Javi Baez, Fortune Teller Mini for the Cubs. And I have knocked into my pile of sleeves. Let me just try to move them out of the way here a little bit more out of the line of fire, if you will. Yes, 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 Jason. Tribute is the one that they moved way back into the year, which I thought was kind of weird because that was always, you know, kind of the first semi-high-end, not really high, yeah, kind of high-end, but mid-range that we could look forward to every year, you know. And they just took it and moved it. Scherzer, Fortune Teller Mini. I suspect because they didn't think it was selling as well or something that early in the season. Because, you know, they moved a few things around last year too. Luminaries, which was a new product in 17, I guess. In 2017, it came out like around November-ish, November, December-ish. And they made it earlier in the calendar for 2018, which did seem to work better for it. So, you never know. I was watching a little bit of the Phillies game before we did the break when I was working on the invoices and spreadsheet and whatnot. I had Phillies game on in the background. They showed the field for Yankee Stadium. That game got rained out, but they showed the massive amount of water. I guess they've just had, I don't even know how much rain they must have had for the field to look like that. It was unbelievable. I mean, water was just like, you know, kind of like a little pond all over the grass of the field. I've never really seen one with that much water. It's Mike Trout and the Angels. So yeah, I guess they had to call the Yankees game because the field was too wet to play. And another tarot, that was Corey Kluber and the Indians. An Oakland A's fortune teller, Chris Davis. I didn't realize, frankly, that they had that much rain in New York. But apparently, they're about ready to build an ark up there, looks like. Wilson Contreras, Cubbies to 250. Gosh, Gina, you're supposed to have snow tonight in the mountains. You know, it's been very cool here the last couple of days. It got kind of cool over the weekend when I guess some rain and stuff moved through, and I think today it was maybe only in the 50s. It was definitely a little chilly, and I think we've got that for another 2 or 3 days maybe, and then we get back up into more what I would call the normal temperatures for this time of year. But yeah, it's definitely been some weird spring weather for sure. But I wouldn't want snow this time of year. That would kind of freak me out. Tell you that straight up. I'd be pretty unhappy. Kenley Jansen, there's a logo swap for the Dodgers. Oh, I got a fortune teller mini that tried to bite the dust on me there. Gleyber Torres tried to get away from us, but we didn't let him. Yankees. Yeah, I wish they would put those little minis like right on the top or something in a pack, because when they're kind of in the middle or weirdly placed in the pack, it's really easy for them to just want to fly out of there. Trevor Story and the Colorado Rockies. And it's a logo swap. So, and it's numbered 299. So Colorado Rockies, Trevor Story. How about you? Up to 3 inches of snow you're supposed to get tonight. Wow. Yeah, I would not like that. And I could see how the 50s would feel like a heat wave to you in those conditions. I get that. Yeah, it's always kind of a weird weather scenario in Kentucky this time of year. I'm just not used to everybody else having some of the weird stuff we have going on. But it traveled around the country this year, the weird weather. So that is the Twins and Max Kepler. You might also notice these all have a little bit of curvature to them. That is just par for the course, kids. When they have this coating on them, they curve up. It's part of it. The Cardinals with Jose Martinez and Trey Mancini. Going to be numbered here for the Baltimore Orioles to 150. I am going to miss Gypsy Queen, though. This is one of my favorites every year. You guys know how I love these. How I love my Gypsy Queen. I love the fact that they feel like old-time baseball cards, and they look like it, and I like the design. I like everything about it. Whereas I have another friend who absolutely hates Gypsy Queen. Just says, like, how in the world can you like Gypsy Queen? I think, it's so ugly. All right, well, that's why they make lots of different types of cards, so everybody finds something they like, but I've always enjoyed it. Of course, I like a lot of that stuff. I like archives and a lot of things that other people are not as fond of, I guess, as maybe I am. I like some of the old school stuff, or the old school feel, anyway. That was a tarot there for Xander Bogaerts and your Red Sox, Gina, on that insert that went by a second ago. Chris Davis and the Oakland A's is our first autograph out of box number 3. And there is a logo swap. Tigers. Lugo. A fortune teller for Urias and the Padres. And a fortune teller for Chris Bryant and the Cubbies. Gina, you said your brother-in-law only collects contenders. You hate it, but he loves it. Oh, I don't hate contenders by any stretch of the imagination. You're talking about Panini products there, obviously, but I don't hate contenders at all. Now, the base cards, I'm like, ugh, you know, I don't want any of those base cards because they're all worth, like, you probably have to have 1,000 of them to be worth 1 penny because they're so plentiful. But the series itself, oh no, I look forward to it every year because you get a lot of on-card autographs, and I mean, those are some of the most highly sought-after autographs of the rookie class on any given year. So yeah, I mean, it's not flashy, that's for sure. But as far as value and longevity, maybe, it's one of the better sets. Because you know how it is. Some of these sets, they come and go, like Prism in baseball. We haven't had it in baseball since, I think, 2013. Because I think in 2014, didn't we only have Prism draft picks, but not regular straight-up Prism? I think 13 might have been the last year we had straight-up Prism. So, you know, like when they take these brands and then they come and go and come and go. But contenders, no. We've had contenders just straight through for who even knows how long, like ages. So it's when you can just look forward to being there every year and not being like crazy. It's going to be remotely the same. You know, there'll be little design tweaks, but you can kind of count on a certain predictability to the formula and to the release time and all that stuff. And certainly the value is there. Reggie Jackson for the A's. A little short print action for Mr. October. I see some color coming up here in the back. Griel, Toronto Blue Jays, should be numbered to 250, and it is. So I changed a setting today, guys, I changed a latency setting. And, excuse me, I am curious to know if you see anything any different. I mean, are you having more buffering, less buffering? Hopefully you're having no buffering, but I know sometimes people do. And I'm curious if this latency has made any noticeable changes for anybody. Ryan Borucki and the Toronto Blue Jays. I think it might actually slow down the chat a little bit, in that I think there's a little bit more of a delay from probably real time. So by the time you type it in, the time I see it, whereas before, you know, maybe we were at 10, 15, 20 seconds or something. Maybe now we may be like 30 or 40 seconds. I don't really know. I need to get somebody to help me test that out somewhere along the way. But anyway, I changed that latency because I thought it might improve the experience on your side of the break. Verlander for the Astros. But I'm not really sure if it's enough to make a difference or not, since it is kind of a... It's not like we're have a high action kind of video here, you know. It's not like it's a car race where it might be super evident, but anyway. Rafael Devers, that will be numbered to 50. That is the black and white parallel. It's headed to Gina. Yeah. Gina, those black and white, you probably know already, but some of those black and white parallels can bring in some pretty good little money there. So maybe your Mr. Rafael Devers will be one that makes it worth your while. The only change you see is not enough Red Sox. The Dodgers and Cody Bellinger logo swap. Yeah, I wasn't really totally convinced myself that it was going to make a a big difference on the viewership side, but somebody told me to tweak it, and so I thought I would, and see. That was a tarot for the Mariners with Mr. Incarnation. Box number 3 is in the books. We're headed into box 4 of 5. Hi, Shane. Shane wants to know if we've had Indians, Braves, or Reds autographs. You definitely do not know my memory capabilities because I am terrible with remembering stuff like that. Definitely we've had no Reds. I don't think we've had any Indians or Braves either. So I don't think we've had any of those, Shane, that I can... Off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure we haven't had those in autographs. Now, as far as parallels, I definitely do not remember that. For the A's, it's Matt Olson. The Indians, Jose Ramirez. And the Red Sox. Haha, Gina's got another little Rafael Devers coming her way. That's our chrome variation box topper to 150. Racking up on those Devers. Yeah, Shane, we're in just starting box 4 of 5, and I will for sure at the end recap. I always recap our box toppers in Gypsy Queen, so we'll recap those as well as our numbered cards, autographs, and basic parallels, you know, like logo swap, missing nameplate, that sort of stuff. We'll recap all that after we run through these 5 boxes, so that way you don't have to rely entirely on my poor, sad old memory. It used to be so much better than it is these days. I don't know. I don't know what happens to my memory. I think my brain's all filled up with useless stuff, like where I left the car keys and, you know, the lyrics to 500,000 songs that I've heard in my lifetime and strange stuff like that. The Atlanta Braves have a missing nameplate there for Colby. Fortune Teller Mini Aaron Nola for the Phillies. He was on the mound tonight. He's just been off this year, though. I mean, you know, after pitching really incredibly well last year, it just seems like Aaron Nola isn't quite himself, doesn't it, this year? Is it just me? I don't think he's just not quite in the groove. Maybe I've got the wrong baseline, though. Maybe what he did last year was the exception, and this is the norm. Whereas I'm thinking last year was the norm, and so this year is the exception because he's getting off to a slower start. But maybe I have it backwards. It's going to be the other way around. I don't know. Oh, Gina, that Kawhi Leonard shot was ridiculous, wasn't it? Oh, that was just... Listen, if you're a Sixers fan, that absolutely broke your heart. For me, I had no dog in the fight one way or the other. I just like to see a good game. And wow, Kawhi Leonard, just unbelievable with that shot. And no matter which side you were on, watching that ball rattle around in the rim, what did it bounce in there like 3-4 times before it fell through the net? No matter which team you were for, you were holding your breath for like that 15, 10 seconds, whatever it was. It felt like a lifetime. That is numbered to 250. It is Trey Mancini and the Orioles. I mean, it was just, yeah, it was just crazy. Of course, I was sad to see my Denver Nuggets got eliminated. That's a tarot for Shohei Ohtani. And, of course, I like the Nuggets because, you know, we've got Jamal Murray on there and Trey Lyles, both former UK guys. Although I believe no matter who wins the finals from here, no matter what team actually takes home the trophy, I think I've got a UK guy on every team, I think, or former UK guy that's left, I mean. It was Clayton Kershaw Tarot for the Dodgers. So now my rooting interests are kind of evenly divided, I guess, since we've got somebody on every team. Ty Cobb, Detroit Tigers, short print. Yeah, I just particularly wanted to see the Nuggets win because, you know, they've been trying to rebuild for about 100,000 years. That was Jesus Aguilar for the Brewers, kind of like my Cincinnati Reds. It's just like there is no regular team anymore. There's only rebuilding. And that's how I feel like the Nuggets have been for a really long time, kind of. DeGrom and the Mets. And I really wanted them to win for Jamal Murray's sake as much as anything else. But you know, hey, like I said, it all works out. But there were definitely some good games over the weekend. But that Kawhi Leonard shot, I mean, that shot was just crazy, crazy. I mean, Embiid right there in his face. He's got that out of his hands practically as the buzzer's going off. He's shot it in about 100-foot arc. Get it over Embiid. Oh, man. And, you know, I think when Kawhi went to the Raptors, of course, they were saying, oh, yeah, we're going to try to convince him to stay here, you know, not leave after the 1 year, like the Thunder did with Paul George successfully. And Kawhi seemed pretty non-committal and very much like he was Laker-bound, as did, coincidentally, Paul George when the Thunder had him for a year, convinced him to stay. But I got to tell you, I think if they go on, even if they don't advance any further, I think Kawhi's got to be considering staying there. Freddie Freeman and the Braves. Because he's having good success. They've got a nice little team put together, and he has been just MVP caliber throughout the whole tournament. Kawhi has single-handedly pretty much just willed them to this place in the playoffs. The Oakland A's with Chris Davis. Matt Chapman, Oakland A's autograph. Yeah, Gene, I know Jamal Murray does still have some rough games. I mean, he had some really good games in the series, but you're right. He definitely has some games that are not as good. I mean, everybody does, but he's still pretty young. But he does need to probably be a little more consistent, I'll grant you. But not just him. It wasn't just him, but yeah. There is a blank nameplate for the Mets with Lugo. And of course, tomorrow we'll have the NBA draft lottery, so we'll find out who's going to have that number 1 pick, which will undoubtedly, unquestionably be Zion Williamson. This is Colin Moran, comes out for the Pirates. Of course, the latest and greatest rumor floating around out there is if the Knicks end up with the number 1 pick, that they will package the number 1 pick and Kevin Knox and try to ship those two things off to NOLA to get Anthony Davis. Which, if you had the number 1 pick knowing you get Zion Williamson and then you throw in kind of Kevin Knox as the sweetener in the deal, I don't know. That might work. Yes, Jason, both of the mystery redemptions have been announced. You are correct. So our box topper, the St. Louis Cardinals, that is Paul Goldschmidt. Behind it, we have the Angels, and that is Justin Upton. And our final little chrome box topper here is Polanco for the Pirates. And it is numbered to 150. And, of course, this is the last box mojo time, too. So we all know how that works. We've got to collectively fire up our mojo and see if we can't get something big out of here. And then Jason's question was about mystery redemption. So most, maybe all of you know that Topps has some mystery redemptions that they will put into their products. And then they will announce at some future point who those redemptions are. They announced back in, what? I guess probably maybe mid-April, somewhere in there, that B was Eloy for the White Sox. And then more recently, within the last couple of weeks, announced that A was Vlad Guerrero Jr. for the Blue Jays. So prior to the announcement of knowing what player was associated with those, mystery redemptions were simply given out using random.org. Then after B was announced, then Eloy started going, of course, to the White Sox. And now that A's been announced, then that, should we pull A, it would go to the Blue Jays, since we now know that that is Vlad Jr. So that's the way the mystery redemptions work. If we find one. We may not even find one, but if we do, that's how it would go. Aaron Judge, Tarot. A little fortune teller mini. And that one is Blake Snell for the Tampa Bay Rays. Logo swap. Jose Altuve. Houston Astros. I think he's injured, isn't he? What happened to him? Something happened to Altuve, I'm pretty sure. I think he sprained something, maybe. I don't know. But I do think he's injured at the moment. Acuna, Braves, Tarot. All right. No, we haven't seen either of our autographs yet. There's one right on cue. Tampa Bay Rays, Willie Adames. So we have one autograph left to find out of the last box of the last half case of Gypsy Queen for 2019. J.D. Martinez, Fortune Teller Mini, Red Sox. So, of course, after we look through the last of these, we will do our recap. After we do the recap, I'll put up the information again about shipping dates if you missed that earlier, and also put up the list of the breaks that we have coming up in the next few days for anybody that might have missed that. If you're interested in finding out the 411 on breaks over the next few days. I'm hoping to get sort of somewhat caught up maybe over the course of the next 6 or 7 days here, since it's a relatively light release week. And then maybe we can start doing some mixers again if I can get caught up. Then I'll have time to actually create them and list them, because I've got a bunch of stuff to do them with, and I like mixers. I just run out of time. Derek Jeter and the Yankees, short print. Time to list them, I mean, to put the product together, take the pictures, do the description, that kind of stuff. That's what I mean. not run out of time to do the breaks. Obviously, it doesn't take usually any longer to break one of those than it does to break this. Fortune Teller Mini Aaron Judge. Hey, hey, my Cincinnati Reds at least get something numbered. Eugenio Suarez to 250 for my Cincinnati Reds. I see a little white lurking in the background here as well. That is the Marlins with Urena. Will be numbered to 50 on the black and white parallel. So our last autograph's got to be in here somewhere. Astros, Altuve, Fortune Teller. Ooh, oh, and it's a variation autograph, no less. How about that if you've got Kansas City Royals? Brad Keller. And it is numbered to 99 with our mini rookie autograph. Those don't really come out very often, so if you've got Kansas City, that's a pretty cool little hit for you right there. Do not see a lot of the rookie minis autographs, so I don't know exactly what the odds are. Probably tells me on the pack or the box, but it's not frequent, we'll put it like that. I thought we already had, we got an extra autograph too, huh? Because we already had Willie Adames out of this box, right? And Brad Keller. Now we got another one. Aha! Jose Martinez for the Cardinals. A bonus, an extra autograph. I'm pretty sure that's an extra autograph. Maybe Willie Adames came out of the last box, but I thought he came out of this box. I don't know. I think we may have gotten an extra one anyway. Twins, Tarot. I'm sorry, that wasn't the Indians. That wasn't the Twins. It was the Indians with Corey Kluber. I do not know why I said it was Twins, but it was the Indians and Corey Kluber, which you probably saw the first time, even though I said Twins. Don't know why, because it wasn't. But anyway, now you know. Now you know the rest of the story. All right, so let's recap a few things. These are all of our box toppers, our little chrome box toppers. They're numbered to 150 if they have that kind of bluish border. If they don't have any border and they don't refract, they're not numbered at all. So that one again will be to 150, to 150, 150. And this, which refracts and has a gold border, is numbered to 50, straight up 50. So those are your chrome box toppers. These are our short prints, except I've got one mixed in there that was a black and white. Short prints and variations. So Derek Jeter, Yankees, is short, has a logo swap for the Astros, missing nameplate for the Mets, short print Tigers, missing nameplate Braves, logo swap Dodgers, short print A's, logo swap Tigers, logo swap Dodgers, short print Dodgers, and short print Indians. Numbered cards that do not have autographs attached to them. Chris Davis and the Oakland A's, numbered to 50. The Miami Marlins, Urena, to 50. Eugenio Suarez, to 250 for my Cincinnati Reds. To 250 for the Orioles. You have Trey Mancini. To straight up 50, Rafael Devers to 50 for the Red Sox. Then Gurriel to 250 for the Blue Jays. The Cubbies, Wilson Contreras to 250. Black and white Harrison Bader to 50 for the Cardinals. And the Diamondbacks with Zach Greinke to 250. And hang on one second. All right. I'm making sure. I want to hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We did get an extra one. I thought there was a third one in that box, but I was just, for sake of argument, I wanted to count them and know for sure. So we got lucky. 11 autographs instead of 10. Jose Martinez, Cardinals. Kansas City Royals, Brad Keller. That is numbered to 99 with our mini rookie autograph. Tampa Bay Rays and Willie Adames. Moran for the Pirates. Chapman for the A's. Barucki, Toronto Blue Jays. Also for the A's, you have Chris Davis. This is autograph and logo swap. Trevor Story, Colorado Rockies, numbered to 99. Austin Meadows, Tampa Bay Rays. For the Twins, Eddie Rosario. And we got things started with Max Muncy and the Dodgers. All right, so that's the break. That is the recap. Now, let me give you spreadsheet information again, as promised, for anyone who maybe missed it earlier or you need a second look at it for whatever reason. Here it comes right now. So once again, don't need to worry about consolation cards here. Every team pulled cards in this break, so we don't have to worry there. And I'm expecting it to get out the door and on the way to you approximately Thursday. If I can get it out faster than that, I will be happy to do so. But right now I'm expecting it to be Thursday. If something unexpected comes rolling through the door and messes up my week, it could be Friday, but I think Thursday is pretty reasonable in terms of realistic, is the word I meant to use there. These are upcoming breaks already listed on eBay. This is the stuff we're going to be tearing into over the next 5 days. So tomorrow night, 5-box case of autographed football jerseys, Leaf Best of Sports. Spots are sold by first letter of the last name. They are all listed in the football category, and redemption cards has a separate bidding category in that one. The last of the flawless football is tomorrow night, and then we'll do more tier 1 baseball. Wednesday we have one new release. It's Prism Baseball. We're going to break it by a half case, and we will start at 9:15 Eastern, 6:15 Pacific. Thursday, tier 1 and Prism Basketball, which we're going to do a case of blasters, a 20-box case of Prism Basketball blasters. Friday, we'll start early at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. That is the release day for Spectra basketball. So we'll open a case of Spectra and another half case of Prism, all on Friday. Saturday, we'll open Leaf Best of Sports again and more Spectra basketball. And I guess that is it for me tonight. That is all the news to you. So thanks, everyone, for being here. I always appreciate you spending part of your evening with me. I hope I will see you again tomorrow night, if not then sometime soon. And enjoy your week ahead, and we'll see you the next time. Bye now.